So I've just shown you an insect that was walking around the leaves of this fantastic peach tree. I had this for 20 years and it was a gift from a cutting from a friend who lived in France. Now, that insect was not here by chance. That insect is a wonderful creature that lays its eggs most likely in caterpillars. Now, I can see we have some beautiful notches in the leaves. Probably impossible without my magnifying glass to find the caterpillars, but these predators are superb and part of the whole system in your garden. Everything you see, almost without exception, is doing a job that has evolved after millions and millions of years. So you don't cut these things off, or, oh, I've got holes, oh dear me, woe is me, let me spray it with poison and then eat the peach. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. So find your inner scientist and look for the more interesting subjects in the garden. Not always the bees, not always the hoverflies, not always the butterflies, but the ichneumon, those wonderful little wasps that flicker around amongst the foliage, looking for a maternity wing in the form of another insect or larva or caterpillar. Just completely wonderful. Holes are so important. When you find holes or notches, it'll lead you on to something interesting. This geranium leaf, this will be, these holes, fabulous, are from a sawfly. There they are, look, and my thumb, I don't want to squash them. So I'll just try and zoom in first and then move the leaf. We might be able to get a look. There we are, look, beautiful, almost transparent, fabulous. And that turns into a fly eventually, but also amongst it will be an insect like I've shown you. Just move that clematis up into the ceanothus. Yeah, so look for notches, look for interest. Beautiful. Now the mozzies have discovered my heat, which is not great, so I don't want any new bites today if I can help it. Here, look, you'll see this overwintered snapdragon, fabulous. It's got leaf miners in there. In the leaf, those are more insects. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, they like that one particularly, look. I love it. Yeah, so the trick is to look and don't interfere. So look, leaf miner in that geranium, wonderful. And you turn that up, and if I took that up to the desktop with a magnifying glass that's linked up, the microscope that's linked up, I'd be able to show you the leaf miners underneath. Daisies, very popular. What we got under here? Ooh, hello friend. You're interesting, and you also look like you're eating the aphids. Please enjoy your breakfast. You're an interesting looking beetle, love it. Let me just get in a bit more there and tap. You look like a newbie to me. to my knowledge. Oh, don't mean to disturb. Yeah, you're running away. And you've dropped. Bit of thanatosis for the morning. Is that you down there? Probably. Nice. Very long antenna. Love it. Sorry to disturb. Thanatosis is when creatures are disturbed and they fall off something. Some bees do it, and spiders do it. All sorts. It just means they're pretending to be dead and drop off. So number one, you lose sight of them when they drop to the soil or whatever, or the next leaf down, and also dead is not necessarily always appetizing. Morning, Mr. Blackbird. This has this weeping birch looks after so many different species, and here we go. We're looking for the hole. Probably the birch leaf sawfly. Bit early, can't see that much action just yet. They'll be so tiny, might even just be eggs. Yeah, there's obviously action. There's always lots of aphids, so that's great. You can see there, little friend enjoying breakfast. Two little friends. Oh, actually, they're having a bit of rumpy-pumpy rather than breakfast. Please enjoy. Sorry to disturb. Great. I do love an early, slow walk around to find hopefully new species each year. Of course, a lot of it is not seen or able to be seen by the naked eye. This equinox is always full of leaf miners. Fantastic. Crazy early for it to be so ahead. Not many bees awake yet. Just a few. What have we got down here? Morning, my friend. Perfect. Yeah, not many. Blackbird singing away. Now, if I move this, you will see all the wildlife in there, but there's some movement. That is full of water fleas and stuff, and hopefully hoverfly larvae. Yeah, perfect. See if I can get in. It's the shadow that causes a bit of difficulty. They soon hide. Sorry, that was a bit crap. Oh, look at this Physocarpus. I mean, is there a more incredible colour? Beautiful. Gorgeous little friend. Really works with the yellow oregano or / marjoram, whichever. I always get them both muddled, and then next to the stripy lily of the valley, perfection. And then of course whiteness, this geranium, oh so pretty. plants are all looking lovely. Did them all up yesterday, went through them all. Really pleased actually, they look super healthy. Brought the cosmos out from the greenhouse, haven't bothered to put them back in because I know it's going to be warm, and it was warm last night. Yeah, they've all had their gravel removed and dead foliage removed, so, and spaced out a little bit so that they can get the light they need, because when they're all rammed in together, when they're smaller, that's fine, but the leaves do need to see the light. Quite interesting one coming there, fabulous dark. This one's got great form, but I can see there's two different hardy geraniums in there. You can see the difference in the two leaves, look. Yeah, very healthy. Keep on top of your aftercare, as they say. If you're a propagator, always remove your dead foliage and stuff. This one is going to go in today. These 4 are going to go in today. This is Convallaria prolificans. Not really good enough to sell, and also I want to make sure there's some in the ground. Nice yesterday to see the lilies opening. Just started to open already. So many buds. Beautiful. Such a lovely time of day. So still. So still. Lots and lots of buds on there. This fabulous rose. I'm a little bit concerned about it because it's got some yellowing. But, you know, having lost that acer, you can see the stump. The dryness of this bed has been a shock. These geraniums stop me in my tracks. Look at that. Just look at that rolled back petal there. Stunning. And a slightly different colour one there. Not quite fully open yet. This is such a lovely, beautiful heuchera, this one. White spires. Especially next to the white allium. White spires is probably the only heuchera that's lasted the test of time in this garden. Any other, I don't buy heucheras, haven't bought them for 10 years. I think they're a waste of money, and you import, sadly you can import lots of vine weevil larvae because they love heuchera's soil and compost. Incredible really when you think it's towards the end of May and the phaeums are just, the geranium phaeums, there's a day flying moth, fabulous. The geranium phaeums, they just keep flowering. Just keep flowering. Just stunning. Some are going over, that's fine, the ones that started a bit earlier. Like Stillingfleet Ghost on the corner here, but I think it's going to, you know, see the yellowing of that stem there that's finished with, and that's fine. But I may cut off some of the stems. None of this Chelsea chop nonsense in this garden ever, not for years now. You're just killing all the bugs that are on all these plants that laid eggs and stuff, but see, as it gets older, Stillingfleet Ghost, the flowers get smaller at the top and smaller, and then eventually the last flower is done. But I'll remove a few stems and then I will keep maybe one just to see if there's any seeds to come through. All the tulips are sitting there nicely, not causing me any trouble at all. is tucked away, really not able to be seen from a distance in amongst this marjoram, so that's grand. Let's just see, some more there, more there. See, they're all just tucked away. Just out of interest to see if there's any toad in here, this end. No. Oh, lovely monster spider. Oh, where he went. That's great, I'm not going to disturb that. These have settled well, I'm pleased with those. They'll give me a yellow flower soon. I'll go with that, which is nice. And the lovely cercis. Fabulous. This one's looking nice. It's all coming down. Settled in nicely. Just one plant. One basket. One half basket. One plant. Lovely dark foliage. Be interesting to see how these cope. Your euonymus stems in there. Very shallow. I think they'll be fine. No swift mew noise just yet. We know this one's occupied. Got some footage. Yeah, so that clematis has survived. That's good. I think that's called Blue Rhapsody. Not that I'm a big rose fan, but it smells superb. Here's your lilac. Incredible smell. Oh, superb. Don't like this gap here at all now. A big plant that had filled this whole area. I cut it back. It was a interloper, you know, it just got landed by bird poo or whatever. But this hawthorn, I'm really looking forward to training it. From Martin and Louise. The Wygela is still flowering. I can see bumblebees on it. Most of the flowers have dropped and are feeding the soil, which is great. Very beautiful. Such a fantastic plant. I love the arching of the stems. There was a lady in the garden yesterday, nice local lady, that came to pick up some cosmos. She said, oh, look at the size of it. I said, well, they don't read the textbooks. Oh, friends on the aerial. Look at that. Hello, darlings. Darling starlings. Amazing. Lovely to see you. Brings me down to this acer. It was variegated, but I actually removed the variegation because it looked ridiculous. There was just one stem left. Plants will always want to revert, but look at that. Beautiful seedling, so pretty. I've never bothered with them, frankly. You know, acers are so reasonable to buy. Why would you? But then there's a lot to be said for looking after plants until they're older because you then understand what they need. A bit like us, really. Grass is looking fantastically healthy. So much life in it. Now it's long. Look. Just beautiful. And then the yellow rattle. So much yellow rattle. Flowering. Oh. I stop everything when the swifts scream. Oh, look at that, it's already gone to seed pod, look. Look at that already. That's yellow rattle there, the flower, and you see the swollen pod at the back. So there'll be lots of seeds in there. That's quite a nice combination. I must have thought about that at some point. That's iceberg. Obviously white allium, very pretty. I love the ferns. I'm always chuffed that that variegated hardy geranium survives there. I think so this is going to be a nice bit of marine rope, but I'm slowly kind of allowing this to emerge. Only my friend won't step on you. But stopping the grass creeping into this new little section here means down on my knees and a bit of ripping out. The thyme was taken quite nicely, the two different thymes, and these will provide a nice bit of structure. These evergreen euonymus. The pot's still being watered, but you see these toad flax, don't want them everywhere, and I'll need to just take this grass back a bit. Quite happy with that. Nice low growing form of geranium there. Yeah, making just, I sometimes do remove finger and thumb jobby when it's a new plant, newly planted, not a new plant but newly planted. I'll always remove the seed heads, so all that growth, same as any tulip or anything else, you want all that growth to go back into the root system, not into producing seeds. So off they come, and I just let those fall, no trouble. Quite happy with those. But you can see that little patch there. I'll just lift that patch of grass up so that we have a nice shape, more manageable shape. I do quite like the blend, it's quite interesting. Very happy with these. Once I moved these fantastic epimediums, they're a different one as well, not the common yellow one. So frog copper there. Hey darlings, how are you? Oh no, it looks like yeah, that's a fly, I think, like a poop fly, for want of a better phrase. Yeah, so these will give the structure once they settle. Tiny ones that I bought in a group yonks ago, in a packet, you know, of 8 that you can get, and then bring them on yourself. And then I've put a hardy fuchsia in there from a cutting. See, even in this very small area, you can see the variety that I've crammed in. And this euonymus I like because it's a nice lift, and I want to keep that into a ball. Actually, I might ball that, because then I've got canopy, underplanting, phlomis, beautiful, and then kind of a nice variety just with the structure. And then when this has the rope from the marine rope, the narrow marine rope, which will merge with that, there's a link between that and then that, that'll be great. And then the rusty hooped, look at this, stop. Oh, you have to stop. Geranium X Oxonianum, Thurstonianum, You see, all it is the petals are rolled back, so you get that amazing form. F. Thurstonianum, just stunning, and that's nice. And there's a Claridge that needs to come out, such a beast, but actually looks quite great. And you see the bees on it, so you think, well, I just want nether seed. And of course, this is all full of bees. Just magnificent. Magnificent. Tradescantia is looking quite cute there, but I do need to get down and just stop that grass overwhelming that bed. It's interesting, the ranunculus quite like that. That's the ranunculus have finished flowering and have left these seed heads. Just really lovely. I might see how they go in terms of being dried. You never know. Really happy with that ivy coming up the clay planter there. It's not a planter, it's a Victorian faux tree stump. I like it. It's beautiful coming up. That really looks natural. And I think at some point this is going to have to come up next spring, because it's now huge and be divided, which is what I did to the one that was, not that one, that's okay, this one was divided. That one was the same size as that enormous one there. I dug it up and put one back, and then all the others are down the bottom of the garden behind the bench. So there comes a point with some ferns that you do have to dig them up and divide them, because they will provide lots and lots of crowns. I mean, it's beautiful. If that was in a few acres, you would leave it, but it's not. And now it's 1.5 meters across, plus. Stunning. Yeah. Quite happy with these. I put in, I really do love a yew plant. I put these yews in 1, 2, and there's one behind that phlox there, the long phlox. And I'll be able to shape them nicely. And the whole point of all of that was to have a feature in the centre of the bed, but the point was that at the base of this clay faux sculpture, if you like, which is really quite old, Victorian I believe, it's sitting on bricks, and there's gaps between the bricks on the soil for the amphibians to get in, which is perfect. In terms of wildlife, I find it very difficult to walk on beds, so I try not to ever. That's why I have stone slabs everywhere that are circular. I mean, there's things in there I want to remove, like the nodosum that takes over. But at this time of year, I know all the toads and bits and bobs will be in the moisture areas and under foliage and under dead leaves, and I do not want to be standing on them. And also soon they will leave the pond, and then they're going to make their way maybe to the hibernaculum right up in that corner. And clearing this the other day, this whole fence, because it was so much light had been kind of lost. So I took a lot off this beautiful viburnum here. Heartbreaking as it was, it needed doing. I needed to let all of this underplanting have some light. It'll come back probably, and I've done the chop and drop look. Looks pretty grim, don't care. And you can see that lovely, lovely fern coming back up, and there's another orange fern there. So even though the fence looks dreadful for the moment, it will be beautiful. And in fact, I probably am going to put a Fatsia in here, much more manageable, and they will turn into a small tree, a bit like this camellia, not quite like this Magnolia stellata. So the Fatsia currently is in a pot, and it is very yellow because it doesn't matter how much you feed it. So I think that gap will work nicely there for the Fatsia. Look at that little gorgeousness. It's much darker in real life than in that show there. See all the convallaria looking nice. Brunella looking nice. Nice Esplenum. Oh, look at that lovely ruffle. Yes, I think I might also move this beautiful pot. It's huge and it's wasted there. Fatsias do so well in shade, and they do much better in the ground. This one, look how beautiful it looks with the ferns. And ultimately that'll come up here. And when you consider it's next to a monster apple tree, yeah, Fatsias look great. So that's what's going to happen. And my climbing shade-loving hydrangea is surviving. Incredible. Once that takes off, look out. And there's another Fatsia there, just in the pot. Very small pot, it's not in the chimney, the pot is inside the chimney pot. And that's spider's web, which is white. So that one can be lifted too and put in the ground, in the shade. Oh, Spotty Dotty, I love you. Look great next to the pulmonaria, look. It's beautiful. Polyphydium, I don't ever say that correctly, but yeah. Stinking iris, you're looking gorgeous. Should I have a sniff? Probably. Can I smell? Oh, no smell really. It's beautiful. I love it. Such a pretty iris that is. Such a lovely time of day. So quiet. See, the Weigela is all. It's just such a feature in the garden because of the way the stems arch. See, and link you into the Pyrrhus, the Acer, and again you've got that middle story, or mummy bear as I call it. Are you there? It's interesting, some lovely new growth now from this rhododendron. It may be, I don't want to lose it, the top growth completely, but I may remove some of these crossover stems. So there's more growth back here, but it looks healthy, looks fantastic, it really does. It's a joy. See the yew? Just needs a little bit of TLC at the moment. Take a bit of those away. but it seeds now readily in the garden. There's our little friend there. Hello. Good. Swifts up there, fantastic.